Hi, it's Pastor Rob, and today I'm coming to you from the top of our property. And I often like to come out here and to just remind myself that we live in a bigger world, in a beautiful world. Oftentimes when I'm inside the house, in my office, doing my work, surrounded by bills and to-do lists and phone calls I need to return and emails I need to answer, I can become anxious and overwhelmed and stressed out. And it's good to kind of step back, step out, and remind ourselves that we live in a much bigger world. Sometimes our focus can just be so narrow-minded and so tunnel vision, and we can just think that everything is about what's happening right there and right now. King David's son Solomon, he wrote these words in Ecclesiastes that God has put eternity in the hearts of man. And that's a beautiful thing, because eternal existence, everlasting life, is put into our hearts and minds to remind us that there is a bigger picture, that there is a bigger worldview, that we don't have to get stuck in the right here and the right now. And when I find myself in that situation where I am stuck and just focus on the immediate, there's three things that I like to practice. And sometimes it only takes one, but the first thing I like to do is I just like to look up. When I look up, right, I remind myself, and I look at the sky, I look at the clouds, and sometimes the stars and the moon. It reminds me that God created us, and that God is watching out for us. He's watching out for me. And I'm not in this by myself. I'm not in this alone. So when I look up, I remind myself that there is a God. Second thing I do is I look around, right? And when you look around, you can see God's handiwork. When you look around, you can see that we do live in a beautiful big world. And it helps me to focus not on just the little things, but on the bigger picture. That there is a bigger picture, that there is a bigger story than just my little story. And the third thing I like to do is to look out for somebody else. And I'll call somebody, send someone a text, write someone an email, someone that's going through a hard time. If I'm looking out for somebody else, it helps to put my circumstance in my situation into a better perspective. And so those three things: look up, look around, and look out for somebody. This is Pastor Rob wishing you a great day, because God has put eternity in your heart. God bless.